Yes, indeed. All right. I am operating on a rather slow computer, but the blessing is it does work
Yeah.
eventually. And here we are. I'll turn on my video as soon as there you go, gives me the capacity to do so. Hello. Thank you very much. Absolutely.
All right, there you
Appreciate it. And we are blessed this afternoon to have as very special guest Gerald Caldwell, former commander of VFW Post 8100, judge advocate. And before we get into our discussion this afternoon, let me mention that at the conclusion of the program, I will be scurrying out towards Morning Star Baptist Church, where we're going to have a pause to pray event, and that will be from 2:30 until that event culminates. So welcome once again to Wave Your Grades, American students striving for excellence in honor of our troops. And Brother Caldwell, as usual, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. We are glad to be here. As always, say something in support of our troops and students who hopefully will become troops later on.
Thank you very much. And Brother Walker, let me indicate to you that there is one person in the history of Stoots for Boots who is a part of the entire history from 2014, when we were allowed to do a book signing at the Post for the book Academic Patriotism.
That's right.
So once again, Brother Caldwell, thank you over and over and over again. And let me say to those who are observing this particular broadcast, telecast, Zoomcast, we are in the throes of an era unlike we have ever seen. And what I am suggesting is, as it relates to Black history in America, as it relates to getting back to school in America, as it relates to international affairs beyond America, as it relates to a pandemic, it is just absolutely amazing how many things are confronting us. And Brother Caldwell, one of the reasons I was asking that you join me on this day is because I want us together to try to put into perspective for American students how important they are, how important their excellence is at this time in our history. And I wonder, Brother Gerald Caldwell, how you might offer a message to them.
Yes, Mr. Boyd. looking at the students and focusing on their start back to school. We are looking at something like 50 million students will head back to school this year. That's in the high school range there, where elementary and high school range, and 20 million students will be going back in the upper academic courses there, and they are coming off of a pandemic. They are coming off of things like where they have to concentrate and wear masks to protect themselves. And our president, President Biden, has announced things to keep our kids, try to keep our kids safely while they try to learn. And this includes the academic part of it too, because if you are dealing with this COVID-19, your chances of learning and isolating and quarantining, it's not very good in the learning aspects of it. So we have to look at that part of it. That has to be included in the equation for this session, coming into this session right now.
There are those who have made a determination that they are the ones to decide, regardless of the science, regardless of the medicine.
Yeah.
What is your message, not just to students, but to America as it relates to following the science?
Well, I think the scientists here have proven over and over again, now they are not perfect, but they have proven over and over again that the vaccination, the vaccinated people are the ones who have been carrying the load right now. The unvaccinated people are the ones who are loading up the hospitals, loading up our health resources. They have loaded it up so much they don't have room to put people, even the ones that are vaccinated, that don't take as much care as the ones that are unvaccinated. But they have loaded up our system, and that's very dangerous when our system kind of defaults and to the ones that are unvaccinated. And there's been talk of charging them more money or having them pay out of their pockets because they are not vaccinated, because they are loading up the healthcare system.
Now, as I get ready for the next question, let me alert, just in case it wasn't apparent, those who are with us, that Gerald Caldwell is at one venue, Louis George Walker another, Carl Boyd at another.
Yes.
If we were together in this close proximity, we would likely be wearing masks.
That's right.
We advocate that you should wear masks indoors. You should be careful about distancing. The very same things that we were saying 9-10 months ago should be observed as it relates to masks, distancing, and hygiene. We have added to that the vaccine. So we want those who are watching and listening to know that we do advocate that you get your vaccines, that you wear the masks, and observe those safety standards. By the way, we are so familiar, and I, by the way, am a civilian, that I want to make sure when I address Gerald Caldwell, it is by the proper title. I said Judge Advocate, but please give us your proper title so I don't make an error.
Okay. I am past commander of VFW Post 8100, and I am current Judge Advocate.
Praise God.
Which is the same as the lawyer for the post for right now. Make sure our meetings run respectfully and according to the VFW rules. So I do hold that title too.
Judge Advocate Caldwell, those of us who are not involved cannot imagine the number of things you must confront. How are we doing as civilians in America in properly supporting Veterans Administration hospitals where they exist across the land?
Well, I visit the VA hospital quite often for my medication and other support. They have other support besides medication there. And I've noticed that there's not as many people there that there used to be, not as many volunteers as it used to be.
Ooh.
And I don't know, and it's probably, it is related to the COVID-19. They just want just a number of people there to carry out their mission without having an overly volunteer population there. But I noticed that the VA is more strict on entering and leaving the facility. And you can get your COVID-19 test. You can get it immediately right there on the grounds there of the VA hospital if you care to get one. And I've recently returned from Tampa, Florida, which the city and the world knows that that's the hot spot down there in the nation.
Yes,
And I come back and I got a COVID-19 test just to make sure that
yes, sir.
I was not hindering my family, not hurting my family with COVID-19. So everybody turned out to be negative, and we were glad of that. And we wore a mask down there in Florida too. Every opportunity we could, we wore our mask down there. And
Great.
I think we were blessed because of that too.
Yes, sir. And when you and I were talking about this program last week, we were talking about messages to students.
Yes.
And there are some things many of those who join us do not know, but BFW, certainly BFW Post 8100, has opportunities for students to interact. And you have done it before. I would want you to repeat that. And then I have a question for you about students and VA hospitals. But what are some of the things that students do in cooperation with your post?
Well, the veterans of foreign wars have made it available where we want students who are learning, who are with the group, and they have a group and they have leadership and things like that. We have made some funds available so that those groups can better access. It's a financial funds they make available, so those groups can get some of the things that they need and further their cause and their community involvement. That's what it is, community involvement. Their involvement with our local police, firemen, with our healthcare workers. They work with all of these aspects, and we'd like to work with you, Mr. Boyd, later on there as you get off into the school year, where you might have some extenuating projects that have leadership to them. And we'll be talking with you in conjunction with the VFW so that we may be able to facilitate and get the word out that the VFW loves students. They love to try to enhance them, try to help them reach their goals.
And as a matter of fact, let me extend a greeting and appreciation for Jarena Floyd, the
Yes.
first African-American female to be Commander Post VFW 8100. So I am saying a thank you to her in advance of our interacting this school year.
Yes, well, she will appreciate that, and she come on strong. So we like ladies, you know, this leadership there. She has good leadership qualities, but you know, they're a little bit different from men.
Yes,
so
sir.
We're making our adjustments too, and I think we're coming along real smoothly in that area there.
And the cooperation with Stutes for Boots,
yes,
has been exemplary. Since I mentioned that, let me remind those who are with us. Waive Your Grades, this Saturday program, 1 until 2 p.m. on KUAW.org, is sponsored by our nonprofit organization, Stutes for Boots. That organization asks that American students strive for excellence in honor of our troops, Stutes for Boots. The acronym STOTS, spelled frontwards and backwards, stands for Students Theater of Operations, the school. And so it is that Stoots for Boots is launching now a totally new, assertive kind of restart. Even though it's not post-pandemic, we are making every effort to motivate students. And I am supported by Diane Charity, a veteran who will have you to know that she was discharged a hard sergeant. Judge Advocate Caldwell, you will know what that means better than I. James Perkins, an educator who is also a veteran. LaFay Daniels, who is our web instructor, and of course, Gerald Caldwell. And we are about to be more assertive, more active with our young people. And I think we will adopt a slogan, return to better. Return to better. Every person who serves militarily these United States, wherever they are deployed, should return to better. And the reason we're talking about students is because much of that better will not come until the future. And those young people are in charge of our future.
Yes. Yes.
I said to you, I wanted to ask a question in relations to students and VA hospitals. That being students visiting VA hospitals to simply say to those who have been wounded in war, we are striving for excellence in your honor. Yes. And in as much as we are Zoom capable in these days, it would not be a personal visit, which would obviously be very difficult with the pandemic. But how might we facilitate a way for our students to come on Zoom and say directly to patients, we appreciate you and we're striving for excellence for you?
Now, the Zoom requires some equipment. They have to have that. But recently, I returned from a military convention, and they highlighted one Black youth down there in South Carolina who was working at the VA hospital, extraordinary student, and working with the patients there, and had good ideas, and went over and above the time that he was allotted to be there, working with those patients. And they highlighted him for a couple of years, and they brought him up at the national convention, and they gave him a paid scholarship all the way through college, all the way through college. He doesn't have to buy, he doesn't even have to buy his food.
Wow.
So that was a rare instance, and I was very pleased to be a part of that. And I'm just sorry I don't have the gentleman's name right now, but he was there, and he looked real good. And from the time that they took those pictures to the time that they brought him on when he was headed to college, he had polished. He had looked real good. He already looked like he was a professor or something like that. I thought that was excellent. And he was so proud to see his mom and his dad there, who come from an income where they couldn't even support his schoolwork.
Oh, wow.
And that was really nice. She said, it's nothing but a blessing. She said, I could not even think about sending him to college in any form and have him really perform like he's supposed to. So I thought the VA hospital did this. This was the VA hospital recipient, and he was really good, and they did a real good job. They videoed and sent the video all over. All the VA hospital, they sent the video to them, showing how this young man performed.
Well, I would be very interested in the future in seeing it and showing it. Now, let me make sure that I saw what I thought I saw. I thought I saw a nodding head from the studio in the form of Louis George Walker, and it looked like you agreed and were impressed with what Brother Caldwell just told us. Your mute is on.
Yes, there he is.
For a young man to be recognized at different organizations, we have to do more of that for our young people.
Yes, yes.
And when, Brother Caldwell, you say that this was done by the Veterans Administration.
Veterans Administration.
In the United States of America, we are so inundated with divisive politics that when something goes wrong, the negative publicity spreads quickly and widely.
Yes.
And we need to hear those positive stories, those good stories.
Yes.
And we will be asking that you help us, as a matter of fact, as we spotlight our young people and the good things that they're doing, the good things that's being done in their behalf as well.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you to provide some contact information. There are educators watching and some parents, maybe some students as well, I hope.
Yes.
If they wanted to participate in an essay contest, if they wanted to make some recommendations for student service interaction, how would they contact you, or would there be someone else they should contact?
Yes, they can contact our commander, J. Rena Floyd, and she has essay programs, applications for them. And for the Voice of Democracy, which is high school students. And we have one, the Patriot Pen, which is elementary students. And both of those essays are in full swing. All the student has to do is get us the application. They will be considered. And almost every student that, where we are located in Grandview, almost every student that gives us an application will receive some type of financial retribution. Of course, the first three will, the top awards there, they will receive the first three that will be right in. And we have a teacher of the year. We have a colonel. We have a colonel for the teacher of the year from Ruskin High School.
Outstanding. Is that there, Colonel Glasgow?
Colonel Glasgow is our teacher of the year this year. And we hoping he comes to us in full dress military uniform. And he has a lot of work that he has done with the students at Ruskin, a lot of dignitaries and things that have worked with him. And we have taken pictures of that. We have highlighted it. And we're going to send that and hope it goes right to the top of this organization, the BFW organization. We feel that it will, because of the type of qualified individual he is, and the type of discipline that he commands from the students that he has classes with.
Now, for that document, will it all be print, or could it be video as well?
Well, right now it's print.
Okay.
But he does have go to the Marine Corps birthday. He has that at Ruskin Heights. And he has a celebration out there, big celebration. And we could get the video of that occasion. I mean, it's several hundred people attends that, as long as our mayor and local dignitaries and things, they attend that, and we could get that video. It's a very beautiful thing out there. I get thrills when I see how he conducts that meeting and how he conducts that Marine Corps birthday and the discipline that's imposed upon that unit there.
Well, let me suggest to you that there are two things I would like to contribute or be considered.
Okay.
When I was at VFW Post 8100 signing my book.
Yes.
The book is titled Academic Patriotism.
Academic patriotism.
The students who are highlighted in the book are Ruskin students.
Yes. Yes.
They were the first 14 students who were involved with Stutes for Boots.
Yes.
And if you go to my website, Stutes for Boots, there is a photo you can tap and you will see the ceremony taking place at Ruskin High School.
Yes.
Under Colonel Glasgow.
Colonel Glasgow, that's right.
Many years ago.
Yes.
So I'm going to make sure that I send that to you, that I share that with you.
Yes,
But
I'd like to see it.
As far as print is concerned, it's in my book. I'll share that with you as well.
Okay.
And certainly if any alumni or current students or Colonel Glasgow himself, if any are watching us this day, a hearty congratulations from Stutes for Boots and a huge thank you for the support you've given our organization.
Yes.
To Colonel Glasgow and to Ruskin High School. That's outstanding.
That is outstanding. And we are in touch with Colonel Glasgow, and we have him on our email, and we talk to him occasionally.
Yes.
And we will, at this Marine Corps birthday, we're going to try to get you a slot on that effort. I think you would have something to offer. Well, us, and the students there, because this is your line of business. There's students there, and the academic students. So I think you would have something to contribute to us in that vein. And I will ask him if he can make a slot for you on that program.
Well, I want to say to you, obviously, a huge thank you. You are already supportive. Mm-hmm. I certainly, as a civilian, would not want Colonel Glasgow or you, for that matter, to feel any sense of obligation towards me. Oh, yeah. I want to say just thank you from an outside position. I'd be honored to participate in any way, but yes. I don't want anyone to feel that is necessary. But I would love to see students being a part of that.
Yeah. Well, according to the type of program that he presents and the type of program that you present, they go hand in hand. I'm sure that with the things that you have to present and the area that he works in, that would only enhance his program. And we would, I think we would do our best to push to have you come on and say a few things to the students there and address all of those several hundred students that be in those stands and things. Yes, I think that'd be lovely.
Praise God, and thank you very much for that. Let me remind those who are with us that this is Wave Your Grades.
Wave Your Grades.
Students striving for excellence in honor of our troops. We are on KUAW.org. That is KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, founded by the gentleman who is gracing us with his presence to engineer our program, Louis George Walker. KUAW is based at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center in Kansas City, Missouri, and presented to you by Stutes for Boots, the student motivation organization that honors our troops. We are blessed on this day to have as our very special guest, Gerald Caldwell, former commander, VFW Post 8100, currently judge advocate. And speaking of advocacy, he is a student advocate. Yes. To the nth degree, which we really appreciate. And Brother Caldwell, you and I talk enough for me to know the answer to the question. So I'm going to ask a question and then ask you why. The question being, do you have reason to feel optimistic about our students' future? And if you do have reason to feel optimistic, what might that reason or those reasons be?
Well, we are optimistic about it because of the things that we're confronting right now as far as the pandemic. Those things have taken a toll on students who really want to learn,
Yes.
and who has to fight these obstacle courses to get to a point where they can kind of be comfortable in a learning atmosphere, along with the masks and other students or people who don't want to wear their mask, and along with it's taking more funds for them to do what they normally would do without having to use funds to fight COVID-19. They would be going to school. They would be buying books. They would be buying other things that would help them in their academic course. But now some of that money is being used on COVID-19, and our president is fighting on that. He has offered extra money to try to get those students back on course for the academic part of their lessons, because we're going to need that. We're going to need those students to get up and above beyond this pandemic. And we're striving for that all the time, right there, even at Post 8100, we're striving for that right now at 8100. We're working on that.
Thank you very much. And let me remind our viewers, listeners, that you can find our website, Stutes for Boots, at stutesforboots.com. And again, if you click on to the photo with the students in the gymnasium, you'll see Ruskin High School. And let me just say that one of the reasons I am optimistic is because what we have gone through has been so challenging that we are actually seeing millions, literally millions of students who are anxious to get back to school,
yes,
who are anxious to get back to study. And I pray that it is so, who are anxious to get back to achieving above the norm.
Yes.
And that being the case, we want to take advantage of every opportunity we have to motivate them, to encourage them, to provide for them ideas and opportunity. I really appreciate so much that your post, VFW Post 8100, has activities in which these young people can participate, and a partnership with boards of education, teachers, those who are in education. Brother Caldwell, if there were educators, parents, or even students themselves who wanted to suggest topics for essay contests, would that be all right with you? And how might they do that?
Yes, they can suggest, but we already have two topics, one for the high school students, I don't have that with me, and one for the elementary school students. And,
right.
and they've got that, so you only do in high school, of course, you do more words in high school than you do in elementary school. And they require you to stay within the limits of that word. You go one word over, you're disqualified. So you can stay under a little bit, but you can't go over. So they have those, and we're looking for some students to come in and put in for it, because there is cash awards there for that those students. And also, I'd like to say that while their students been out of school, there, my granddaughter there, my daughter works from home, and she has a time they're trying to teach my daughter from the school computer. And so we as grandparents, after we go over there and we get my granddaughter and bring her over here for several hours, and we go through the courses that she's supposed to have, so that it kind of takes the load off of her. But we often think of the parents who don't have that type of availability. How are they making it, and praying that they be able to make it. And my daughter and them are just very excited to be back in the school realm, because teachers knows best. They know how to teach those students, and they know how to get the best out of them. And we thank God for them too.
Well, I know that as we came on, there might be some things that you definitely want to get across. I do have this question, since we're talking about it. is there a deadline we need to observe or announce where the essay contests are concerned?
Yes, the last day in September is the last day for the entry of that contest.
Okay.
And any of the students that enter in through VFW Post 8100, and then you could just call us and we'll send you an application and the title in the mail. We'll send it to you in the mail. Get it to you real quick too. But yes, the last of September, the last day in September is the deadline for that essay to be in and for us to start judging it and to take care of that. And we are looking for students to help us out in that. And not only just students in the Ruskin High Grandview area, we'll take students from any area. You come, you bring us an essay, and I guarantee you'll get some results from it.
Well, one of the things I know for certain, you have just proven to us, we are hearing from a proud grandfather.
Yes, yes, indeed.
And
yes, indeed.
I would suspect that proud grandparents and proud parents, proud teachers, want to assist as much as you can in helping young people succeed.
Right.
But how do you monitor, and to what degree must these essays be done by the students themselves?
Well, 100% of it should be done by the students themselves, even though when we read this, we get together there and our committee, and we read these essays, we somehow can tell where they've had tremendous help in these essays, and we try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but we can kind of tell when there's been some extra help for the student there. And to be fair to the other students, we yes. really would like to have the student ideas and not the parent ideas or the grandparent ideas.
And I would pretty much guarantee that even while there are some that look as though they have professional help, there are other essays that have been done by the students themselves.
Yes. That
kind of surprise you.
Yes, they are some on the really upper level, and they move on. Now we had one particularly here, Black youth here a couple 3 years ago from the Grandview area.
Yes.
Really shocked us. I mean, not only in his essay, but in his presentation. He would only look at that paper every now and then.
Ooh.
Had it memorized. I mean, you can't get much better than that when you could sit there and talk to people and look them in the eye and talk that and read that essay to them almost verbatim without looking at your paper. That's really good. And he went all the way to the state with us. Went to state with us. Yes, he did. He went to the state with us. Got a tremendous financial blessing on the state level there. We put him in for the national because he up on much greater competition there in the national, but we got him in through the state there. That was really nice, really nice. And he was pleased, and his parents, grandparents who helped him out quite a bit, they were really pleased that he was able to achieve that type of program at that level. And he come down the state where they had him in tuxedo and everything. They brought him up with the commanders of each one of those posts, brought him up to the stage. It was really a big affair for that.
Now, this is so wonderful in so many ways and on so many levels. Yes. By the way, I certainly invite, as I always do, Brother Walker to simply turn off mute and join the conversation at whatever level or whenever you would like. Please don't hesitate to do that. Yeah. And in the meantime, something that is very sober, very serious, is helping young people to put in perspective their continuing role to be excellent, even while we have a president of the United States removing the United States from Afghanistan. And every day that we see the term breaking news,
Yes, breaking
we are afraid of what that might say.
that might say.
As an educator, I want young people to understand they don't need to engage the politics. They just need to continue to strive for excellence. But is there some particular message, trying to put it in perspective, that Gerald Caldwell would have for our school students?
Well, I recently had the opportunity to visit one of our vehicles that they use over there on the ground. They call that a Humvee.
Yes, sir.
And we went inside of that vehicle, and we were simply amazed at how much it takes to run that vehicle. I mean, they even got televisions and machine guns, and they got tank weapons in there. And that vehicle is to be used as a vehicle to transport the troops. It can be used as an ambulance. Wow. It could be used in 15 different capacities that could be used at right there inside that vehicle. And the food and water and things that they need to survive, it's right there in that vehicle with them. And I was really surprised. And I asked one of the sergeants there, how much training would it take to run that vehicle? And it says several weeks to learn the inside of the vehicle. Then it's several more weeks for them to get out and run in the field with that thing to make sure that they can operate what they've been learning. So that takes some academic proudness there. You know, it's going to take some smart students, coming for the Students for Boots. It's going to take some smart students to come out of the classroom to be able to go into the Army, the Marines, and operate these type of vehicles.
Yeah, you made me mindful of a conversation that I had. You remember I mentioned the name James Perkins.
Yes, you did.
James Perkins, veteran and educator. Here was a conversation he and I just had, as a matter of fact, a day or so ago, maybe a couple of days ago. We were talking about multiple intelligences. There are certain students who are visual and they got to see it. There's certain students who are auditory, they listen very closely. There's certain students who are kinesthetic, they move about. There's certain students who are tactile, they have to touch it. But all of these different intelligences, this is what you made me think of when you were talking about the young man who took the essay contest all the way to state level. When you said that he could talk about what he wrote about,
yes,
without having to refer to notes often, if at all.
That's right.
That lets me understand that you understand, that your post understands. Our young people need several ways to express themselves to show how intelligent they are. Yes,
we were pleased and surprised and overwhelmed. Now, I don't, he happened to be a black guy, but I imagine we would be just as happy if it was a white guy that did that too. But we just haven't seen anybody do that. And we've been doing this program for the last 10, 12 years.
Ooh,
and we have people coming in there, but this guy just blew us out of the water with the way that he was did his presentation, and apparently it got him points all the way up into the state level. I'm almost sure that got him a lot more points than he thought it would get him, you know, as far as the presentation was concerned. And his presentation was good. And one post that he went, when he's moving up another level, he had to do that presentation without a microphone.
Uh-oh.
He had to raise his voice up and kind of do some animation there to get his points across there. Without a microphone, I said, oh, he needs that mic. But he was able to move up from that level to the next level.
Now,
and that was really nice.
Fantastic. And I was going to say, if Gerald Caldwell has enough of the screen that I had, then we both saw a nodding head once again.
Yeah.
But in addition to Brother Walker, your agreement, once again, and I know we call on you for this all the time, let our viewer/listeners know ways that they can participate, students can participate in showing excellence with the Black Family Technology Association.
Well, sure, and that's a great thing, and not only the benefit that the young people get, they need to be in things where they get to talk to other people, to express themselves, to learn how to speak in public. That can get you a long way too in life. But yeah, to listen to this station and to contribute or to help KUAW, first you can go to KUAW.org. That's KUAW.org. And you can also pick us up on Facebook, which you may be doing now, on YouTube. And if you want to listen to us out of audio only, where you can listen in your car, if you've got a Bluetooth radio or Bluetooth on your cell phone, you can listen to us on TuneIn app, on the My Radio Bot, and on the Radio Garden. We're on that. So we're on about 4 or 5. But if you go to our page, KUAW.org, KUAW.org, it has a whole list on how you can pick us up. You can also pick us up on your smart speaker. If you have Alexa at home, you tell Alexa to play KUAW. Tell your Google speaker or your Amazon speaker, play KUAW radio, and you'll hear us on that. So we're going around the world on this internet, and you can also support us by making a donation at KUAW.org. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. And before you get away, Brother Walker, when I mentioned the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, I'm always talking about robotics competitions. Yeah. But what are, in addition to robotics, the kinds of activities in which our young people can participate at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center or through Black Family Technology Awareness Association?
Well, for the younger kids, we do have the robotics program that goes on there, but we're also looking at bringing in some new programs because, as you just mentioned, and as people watching the news, the drones, the things that they're using there, well, there's actually a drone competition that we want to start getting our kids involved in that because, believe it or not, the FCC issues drone licenses. And we had a demonstration. We had people come in at a demonstration from GBA Engineering Company, where he was a licensed drone pilot and he flew for civil engineers so that they can map roads and highways and things like that. So learning about these things that you hear about on the news, there's careers in that. Sometimes people think it's just a toy or it's a game and stuff, but you can make a good living flying a drone now. So we're wanting to start that. That's going to be one of the new programs. We have the robotics and the coding that they learn, along with learning how to excel in just their regular classes. They can take reading, math, science, that they can become better in those. Because once you get the fundamentals down, then you can add in that stuff you want to do. So we're just glad to work with young people, and we're always proud to hear about young people that are excelling in different ways and speaking before audiences. We can't be just wallflowers or hide our light under the bushel. Sometimes we want to see our kids step up and be the ones that say, I'll lead. I'm there to lead, because we got to make leaders in this, not just people that follow. So tell them to get in touch with us. They can also go to that website, which is www.bftaa.org. So that's Black Family Technology Awareness Center, bftaa.org. And in the middle of that page, they can actually enroll their kids in our robotics programs and see some of the other things that are being offered. Thank you for that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. Brother Caldwell, when he was talking about the drones, et cetera, you were responding.
Yes. On the drones there, it's a very good, in fact, about it over in Afghanistan, they're using them right now up in the air there where they don't have to put a man up there. They are looking at these people using things, and they have some technology on those drones that are detecting what type of weapons that those people have that they're not supposed to have too. And we like that the drone part of it, because it's a lot. It's a complex technology with that drone program, and it's not just something that you pick up and you use your joystick. You got to have some more expertise there other than that. And that's a field, like Mr. Walker said, that's a field that's complex. It's a lot of money in that field, and they're going to be using that. That field is not going anywhere anyway soon. It's not going anywhere where you don't have to use humans up there. That field is going to be around a long time there. And we freeze that. Now, when on this address you had here, KUAW.org, did I have to use a PO box or something down there? I just put that on there and send a donation to you.
You want to contact us by mail? You
Yeah, that's what I
contact
do.
KUAW or BFTAA at Post Office Box
Okay.
300166. That's P.O.
Okay.
Box 300166, Kansas City, Missouri,
AC mode
64130.
6413. Okay. That'll come straight to you, won't it?
Yes, I checked that box. And anyone that would like to make a donation, if you're not online, if you don't like to do that and stuff, if you just want to write us a check, you can mail to that address and you can communicate to us on that. We check that mailbox regularly. So that is another way to contact the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thank you, because it's almost the first of the year again, first of the month again, and that will be my first checkout. Will be the one to you.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Oh, a very, very profound thank you for the continued support and interaction. And Brother Walker, if you would let those who are listening and watching know how far is the reach of KUAW.org in a real sense. I mean, seriously.
We reach thousands of people, and we have people that listen worldwide. Yeah. We've had people that commented from Japan. We've had people from Vietnam. There's some in England. So we're a worldwide reach that people can reach us on.
One of the things that I have mentioned before, I'm sure I will mention it over and over again. I have, and I think we have, a friend in Reverend Millis Doc Bass. And I continue to quote him with his phrase, the relevance of intelligence. The relevance of intelligence. And the reason I quote him is because research has shown us that where students feel that what they are learning is relevant to where they're going, they tend to learn better and achieve in a more profound way. So when I boast about knowing Louis George Walker and the work that is done by the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, it is that every one of those youngsters participating, now when I say every one, I'm only talking about 100% of them, all of them feel that what they are doing has something to do with their very lives. And if you're in a robotics competition, you want to win, but you're also fascinated with what this robot can do. Gerald Caldwell had a young man who was so involved in just that essay that I don't know how long ago it was, but I guarantee you if I met him tomorrow and asked him something about it, he'd be able to repeat it without hesitation.
Yes, he would have. Yes, he will. Very, very nice. That young man still astounded. He still keeps in touch with us, even though he's moved on. He's up in the college area now. He's moved on, and we still kind of keep in touch with him. And we have on your program, Mr. Boyd, we have added some more equipment, getting ready for you when this pandemic thing kind of lights up a little bit on us. We have some more equipment we have added for your program out there at 8100. And
thank you,
our
sir.
commander, Jadrina Floyd, added that extra equipment, and she said, "This is for Mr. Boyd." Okay.
Wow.
So we're going to be able to hear you loud and clear when you come in with your program there, when you decide to do it.
And
So
we
that-
plan to start the third Monday in September.
in September.
And
Okay.
we will talk about safe in our own neighborhood, and it's
Yes.
safe soon.
That's a very good subject.
Community and police relations.
Okay.
Wow, we're coming to the end of the program, and as I said, I'm going to be dashing out to go to Pause to Pray at Morning Star Baptist Church this afternoon, beginning at 2:30. But I want to make sure before I go, both Gerald Caldwell and George Walker, any closing remarks before we sign off?
Yes. I'd just like to say that I am honored to be on this program and to discuss this academic program. I feel like with you and Mr. Walker there, I'm among giants here. So I have a lot to learn there, and I'm learning, and that's good. And the action and reaction that I get from you guys really help me out a lot. And I feel like the students in this city will be well rewarded for listening to this program and for the touch that he will receive from them from the high schools and things like that. The students that he talked to, I think they will be well rewarded too to get the books and keep pushing. So that's Students for Boost. That's their thing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Brother Walker.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys so much for continuing the show, coming on. We just got to keep pushing it out there so people are here, and each one reach one, and each one teach one.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you very much. Brought to you by Students for Boots. This is Wave Your Grades. And thanking Louis George Walker, thanking Judge Advocate Gerald Caldwell. I always end the program with, to students across the USA, your Students for Boots message for this day, August 28th. Troops' responsibility is our freedom.
That's right.
Your responsibility is our future.
Yes.
They live up to their responsibility every day. What can you say to them about yours? This is our challenge to students for August 28th. This is Wave Your Grades. My name is Carl Boyd, your host, thanking Louis George Walker, George Caldwell, gracious God, and wonderful Wanda. I'm on my way home.
Thank you. You too now. All right. Good listening to you. God bless you.
Thank you so much for joining us on Wave Your Grades. My name is Carl Boyd, your host, listening with some of the greats in jazz contemporary on KUAW.org. Thank you so much for joining us on Wave Your Grades. My name is Carl Boyd, your host, listening with you to the program coming up, Professor Smooth Jazz with some of the greats in jazz contemporary on KUAW.org.